Okay, so wow. This P. Diddy news.
Yeah.
It's wild, right? I mean, sex trafficking allegations
Oh,
against P. Diddy.
it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
This is the guy who, like, built Bad Boy Records, like a whole empire.
I know.
And
And it's almost hard to reconcile that image of him
it's
with,
hard to wrap your head around it.
yeah,
Yeah, you tell
absolutely.
it.
And I think that's what makes this whole thing such a fascinating deep dive for us,
Right.
Because it's not just about one artist or, one set of allegations.
Yeah.
It really kind of forces us to confront this uncomfortable question
Mhm.
of what happens when someone who's essentially produced the soundtrack of our lives
Right.
is accused of these like deeply harmful actions.
It's true. And it's funny you should say that because my first reaction was just like disbelief.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I really was just like, no, this can't be
Yeah.
real.
It's easy to dismiss.
It's easy to just dismiss it out of hand.
Yeah.
But like then you see Diddy's actually been detained as part of the investigation.
Exactly.
Like this isn't just
This is serious.
this isn't just a rumor mill churning.
No, this is serious, and it gets even more complicated when you consider that Diddy's no stranger to legal battles.
Oh, totally.
Like he's got this whole other history,
Right.
which, without going into specifics, adds a whole other layer to how we even begin to interpret these current accusations.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's complex.
Totally. And of course, he comes out swinging on social media,
Right.
denying everything, flat out, vows to clear his name.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
Of course, and that's social media is a beast of its own.
It is. What a beast.
It really is. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Okay.
Because on the one hand, you have Diddy using his platform to try to control the narrative.
Sure.
Which, let's be honest, many celebrities in his position do.
Of course.
But what's fascinating is how people are reacting. You've got these die-hard fans, and they are clinging
Yeah.
to the Diddy they know.
Totally.
The icon, the hit maker.
Mm-hmm.
They see this as an attack on his legacy, on all his contributions.
Right.
And then you have others who are saying, hold up, these are serious allegations, legacy or not.
Right.
These can't be ignored.
Totally. It's like everyone's trying to figure out where they stand in real time.
Yes, messy.
It's messy. It's messy.
And it's happening right now.
It's happening right now. And it's like, do you side with the person who created the music you love?
Right.
Or do you hold firm on this principle that, these accusations need to be taken seriously?
And that tension, that internal struggle that so many people are feeling,
Yeah.
that's really what this whole deep dive is about.
Right.
Because this isn't just about P. Diddy,
Right.
This situation shines a light on how we as a society grapple with these allegations against really powerful figures.
Especially in the age of Me Too.
Exactly in the age of Me Too. Think about it.
It's true.
How many times have we seen this exact same scenario play out in recent years?
Oh, my gosh. Too many times to count.
Exactly.
Too many times to count.
It's become like a pattern almost.
It has. It's scary.
It is kind of scary.
And it makes you realize that this goes way beyond, one artist or one industry.
Or way beyond.
It's about power and influence.
Yes.
And ultimately who we choose to believe.
Absolutely. It always comes back to that.
It always does. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting to see how other artists are navigating this whole very public situation.
Yeah.
Especially those kind of in Diddy's circle,
Totally.
It feels like a lot of them are caught in this like awkward silence.
Oh, absolutely. And you cannot underestimate the power dynamics at play here.
Right.
Diddy's built a legacy.
He has.
And not just through his own music.
Yeah.
He's a kingmaker, a collaborator.
Wow.
Like, he is the driving force behind some of the biggest names in hip-hop and R&B. It's true, you know? So for a lot of these artists speaking out against him, even if these allegations turn out to be true,
Right.
it could be career suicide.
Yeah, they're totally... So it's like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
100%.
Support Diddy publicly, and they risk alienating fans, appearing insensitive,
Right.
but speak out against him,
Yeah.
and their careers might be over.
It's true. It's like this high-stakes game of chess.
Totally.
And I think that's what makes this whole situation so revealing.
Okay.
Because it really forces us to confront this uncomfortable reality.
Yeah.
That sometimes silence isn't just about protecting yourself.
Right.
It's about protecting an entire system.
It's protecting the way things work, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about us then?
Ooh.
The fans, the consumers of the music.
Yeah.
If artists are stuck between a rock and a hard place, like where does that leave us in terms of responsibility?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And Honestly, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all answer.
Whiskers.
But it's definitely a conversation that I think we need to be having.
We have to talk about it.
Yeah, because, like, when we listen to an artist's music, right?
Yeah.
Are we implicitly condoning their actions?
Interesting.
Even if those actions are abhorrent to us.
Right.
Can we separate the art from the artist, especially in this day and age, in this digital age?
Totally.
Where everything is so interconnected.
Everything's connected. Yeah, and it's tricky.
Yeah.
Because there's that human element to consider. Right. These artists, they're not just brands or products.
They're people.
They're people with lives, with families, with careers.
It's true.
And like you said, the stakes are incredibly high.
They are.
But then there's that other side of it. The victims and the allegations themselves.
Exactly. And it's a delicate balance.
Totally.
We can't ignore the seriousness of these accusations. And we can't expect artists to be these, like, moral compasses for society.
Right, right.
But I think we can start by just acknowledging that our consumption of music has an impact.
Okay.
It sends a message.
It does.
And when we continue to support artists who've engaged in these, like, really harmful behaviors, you know,
right.
We're sending a message, too.
It's a good point, yeah. It's like we're navigating a minefield here.
Yeah.
Especially with someone like Diddy, right?
It's true.
Like, his career spans decades.
It does. It does.
It makes you think about all those times.
Right.
We've wrestled with these situations.
Yeah.
Maybe on a smaller scale.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I know I've grappled with my own, like, internal conflict when artists I love do things that make me question them.
Of course.
You know?
And that's the heart of it, right?
Yeah.
It's personal.
It is.
These aren't just these, like, abstract ethical dilemmas.
Right.
These are playing out in our playlists.
Totally.
In our memories.
It's true. It's the music we love.
Like, in our understanding of the music that defines us in a way.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And it's like, then the question becomes, what do we do with that discomfort?
Oh, that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And I wish I had, like, the simple answer for you.
Sure, sure.
But I think what I find helpful is remembering that
Yeah.
grappling with these situations is a process.
Okay.
It's not a destination. Like,
Right.
we don't need to have all the answers right now.
Okay.
What's important, I think, is that we're willing to engage in the conversation.
Be open to it.
Yeah, be open to it, to sit with the discomfort, and to really think critically about the choices that we're making as consumers of music.
As fans.
As fans, exactly.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, we do have a choice.
We do.
How we engage.
It's almost like this whole situation with Diddy.
Yeah.
It's forcing us to confront not just his legacy, but like our own relationship with his music.
Yes, 100%.
And that's a powerful
It is.
and maybe even a little unsettling realization.
It absolutely is.
Yes,
Right.
but I think that's where the real learning happens, you know,
Yeah.
when we're willing to sit with that unsettling feeling
Yeah.
and let it challenge us.
Let it challenge those preconceived notions.
Exactly.
So where do we go from here?
That's a great question.
Like, this story is still unfolding.
Oh, yeah.
There are sure to be more twists and turns along the way.
Absolutely.
What are you most curious to see play out as this situation develops?
You know, for me, it really comes down to accountability or the lack thereof.
Okay.
You know, like, will there be a reckoning?
Yeah.
A genuine acknowledgement of harm, both within the music industry, but also within the court of public opinion? Or will this just kind of fade into the background?
Right.
Another example of powerful figures evading consequences.
Yeah, you're right. It's true. And that's the thing with these deep dives, right?
What's that?
They often leave us with more questions than answers.
It's true.
But I think that's a good thing.
I think so, too.
You know, it keeps the conversation going.
Yeah, it keeps us thinking.
Keeps us thinking critically, keeps us engaged.
Engaged, yeah.
So to everyone listening, we want to hear your thoughts.
Yes.
How are you processing this whole situation with Diddy?
Yeah, let us know.
Hit us up on our socials.
Let's keep this dialogue going.
Let's keep this dialogue going, because this isn't just about one artist.
It's much bigger.
This is about how we navigate a culture grappling with power, with accountability, and this, like, really complicated relationship between creators and their creations.
I love that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
This was a good one.